Deanna with TTT, talking to you today about food, golf, and travel. We're live here at the Masters and a supreme dream of the lifetime trip with Chef Will. Chef Will is part of our group this week as we explore the Masters in a golf luxury event that's knocking out of the ballpark here. We've had 7 days of outstanding cuisine. We started the first night with the Southern barbecue. We had pulled pork, brisket. I'm getting hungry just talking about it. And tonight we're here on our final night. Chef Will's going to introduce a little bit of our Asian infusion menu we have this evening.
Asian fusion is such a loose term, but this is what we're doing tonight. We've got all wild-caught BC fish here. We've got sockeye salmon and halibut. The halibut, we're going to do a spicy salsa, melon salsa, and then the sockeye, we're going to go with light crab sauce with asparagus and basmati. We'll throw some pad thai in there tonight as well.
Excellent.
But you know, the food has been great. It's really enjoyable meeting everybody.
Absolutely.
Like you say, everybody that's coming in and out of the house is here. But how about when you walk on that course for the first time?
It is nothing like TV, right? When we got there the first day, all you saw was green, 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 and walking the hills and the undulating greens on the golf course. And
I'm pretty sure that when they kick us out, there's somebody there pruning each blade of grass. There wasn't anything out there.
Absolutely. I think another great aspect being at the Masters and Augusta National this week was the staff. Everyone from the bathroom attendants to security guards, the policemen patrolling the corridor, everyone was excited to be here, and you felt extremely welcome. Is that Southern hospitality, you think?
It was amazing. Hi, first time at the Masters. That's
right.
You know?
We had badges on our foreheads,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I'm sure this won't be our last, though.
You're not kidding.
You know, what really impressed me this week was we had a great menu, we had a world-class chef, but I think you really kept it simple, to the point, and didn't really try to overdo things with the taste combinations. The textures was outstanding.
Thank you so much. Deanna, like I said, when I was coming down here, the anticipation of the kitchen I've never seen, the staff I've never met, just the Augusta thing, all of that.
Right.
Getting here, keeping it simple might have been a fallback, but it's kind of how I roll. Like,
right.
It's got to be fresh, it's got to be clean, and I want you to taste everything. I don't want to
overdone doesn't mean it's better. Absolutely not.
Don't put more stuff. Less is good.
Thank you. Do you want to show us really quickly how you might clean up one of the pieces of fish for us?
Sure.
And maybe explain some of the technique you're doing.
What I'm doing here is just a sashimi knife. The back is flat and the top is rounded. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply pressure to that, not too hard, and I'm going to slide this under the fish, and it'll just pull the skin right off for you. Okay, so now we've got this beautiful piece of fish, and I'm going to cut it into little pieces because it's a casual. It's master. We're going to be casual. We're going to have a few drinks. So just skinning the salmon here. A good way to do that is you want to, as I started there, you get a little cut, get under the skin, hold that skin, leave a little bit of this tail. It's the tough part anyway, very sinuous, and you just want to hold that, and you want to pull the salmon through the knife. You don't want to force yourself.
To me, that also reminds me of preparing ribs and getting the silver skin off the back of a slab of ribs.
Exactly. For those at home, when you're cooking salmon, the biggest thing that we do wrong is we overcook it. You know, it doesn't have to be completely dried out.
Right.
You know, this salmon is wild. It can be eaten raw. So when you cook it, you want to season it, you want to hit it hard, which we're going to do in the pan here, but you don't have to overcook it.
And speaking of seasoning, I think one thing as at-home chefs, we are, I think, a little hesitant to put that good douse of heavy cracked pepper or salt on it to really pull out the flavor. That's really important with several meats and fish especially.
Exactly.
And then we overcook and then we cover with sauce to cover up the overdoneness of the fish.
I would love for everybody who uses dry herbs to go throw them all out, because usually when you buy them, they've been sitting in the store for a year before you get them. And you know, seasoning is one of the things that most people do wrong. Salt and pepper are the two most abused seasonings in the kitchen. Either it's too much or not enough. So you just make sure. We'll take a nice little piece here. Just standard kosher salt. A little bit of black pepper. We'll use some olive oil. Just need it to coat, just a coat. And you can use a steel pan, Teflon's here, so we're doing with that.
And you need the pan nice and hot, but you don't want the olive oil to start smoking on them at
No,
all.
not for this application, but it's, as you notice, my pan was on first.
Right.
It's always hot pan, then hot oil, and then start. People make the mistake of turning the pan on, putting the oil and laying it in there, and they wonder why they can't move it from the pan, because it's completely still. Okay, so hot pan, hot oil. When you lay down a piece of fish, you want to lay it away from you so you don't splash yourself. Just little tips, right? If it doesn't sizzle, pull it back off, because then you're steaming the fish. You don't want to do that. You want to hit it hard, seal it in, and then go from there.
Would you suggest if it wasn't sizzling, to pull that fish right out of the pan?
I would say pull it right off.
Right, it would soak up all the oil and like you said.
It'll just be oily and you know, not very good. So
now you're seasoning the other side.
season the other side lightly, and that's it. What we're looking for is we want the fish, as you can see the color coming up the fish. We want it to get about halfway, and we're going to flip it and do the other side the same. And then you take it off and you let it sit.
So maybe 2 to 3 minutes on each side?
Something this
barely?
thin, of course. Maybe 2 to 3 minutes.
Great.
Okay, so we're about there, as you can see.
Excellent. Time to flip.
Flip it over. Now we're on the other side.
We'll
Nice
notice a nice crust and caramelization from
Nice
the olive
color.
oil, the hot pan at the right temperature, not overcooked. And
Not overcooked. We're going to let that go for about 2 more minutes. And it's a preference. If you want to cook it more, it's up to you. You
Right.
can.
Now, I notice you're doing small pieces at a time, small batches. If I'm cooking for a family of 6 at home, what are some suggestions to, take the pressure off? Everyone has a hot plate at the same time. Maybe a chef's tip on
Well, if you
cooking
have a
for
really
crowd.
nice convection oven,
Okay.
you can capture the beauty of the fish in the pan before anybody's even home.
Right.
You can put it on a little tray. You can fire the convection oven on, and you can put that fish right in when you're ready to go. 3 minutes in the convection oven, and it's done all at once.
Would you suggest maybe cooking it a little less on the second
Yep,
time?
yep,
Like second
exactly
side,
right.
so
Yep.
it doesn't dry out.
Pull it out early.
You're right.
And then you put it back in the oven, and there you go. Dinner's
Excellent.
ready.
Another thing that we like to do at Tea to Table is give great household tips so that cooking a meal like Thanksgiving or something like that doesn't seem like this overwhelming task
And it can be.
pressure, right? Do a lot of planning ahead of time, make simple steps, and just plan for the day correctly.
Like I said before, you gotta have fun. You gotta slow down. Keep it simple and enjoy the food.
Absolutely. Cooking is a fun family event as well.
That's right.
Great.
Well, that's it. We're done. That fish is ready to go. Not overcooked, not
Perfect.
undercooked.
Yeah.
Just about right. Try a little piece.
Absolutely. Only if you'll have some with me.
You got it.
The first thing I get is the crispy, crunchy outside. It's moist on the inside. Just a hint of that pepper and salt. I don't even think we need a sauce. It's so good.
That's it.
Wonderful.
Very easy.
Great work.